Okay, so we were talking about these different types of diameters. So for this spur gear, the diameter passing from the highest point of the tooth, this is diameter 1. Then the one which is passing from the root of the tooth, that is 3. And the one which is passing from the middle somewhere here, that is the pitch circle diameter. So this is diameter, this is called as the addendum circle diameter. This is dedendum circle diameter, and this is pitch circle diameter. So these three diameters, if you see in this figure, they are shown. This is the dedendum circle diameter showing at the root. So you can say this is the tooth. So instead of showing this tooth like this, the tooth is shown as a convention. So this circular view is matching with this circular view, but it is not showing the teeth. What is shown here is only these three circles. So the highest circle, the addendum circle, is the outermost circle. You can even see here, DA is written here, the maximum circle, outermost circle 1. Then this is the inside circle, D third circle, that is the dedendum circle. And then here, this circle is shown by something like a center line. So this line, center line circle, is the pitch circle diameter, which is shown by D. So D is pitch circle diameter, this is addendum circle, and this is dedendum circle diameter. Here in the other view, they have shown the dedendum circle diameter here. Instead of this view, this diameter is shown here, DD. So this is DD, this is DA, and this is D. So this is DD, this is DA, this is DD, and this is D. Okay, so these three diameters I'll write here. DA, D, and this is D, just D. So they are the three diameters shown here. Then there is something else. See, the disc is, if this is the thickness of the disc where the teeth are there, so the tooth thickness is B, but that thickness is increased here when there is a shaft. So this shaft is fitted here, the surrounding of the shaft area is having a larger diameter, it is called the hub diameter, hub dia is written here. And then the middle part is made thin because the weight will be more, so the thickness B is reduced and only this TW is kept. Here and here material is removed so that it becomes light. So TW here this is a TR. TR means thickness of the rim. So thickness of rim is here, thickness of web is here, TW. This is the hub diameter, this is the dedendum circle diameter, this is the width, and this is the length of the hub. Okay, that is how the cross section of the gear is made, and here there is a keyway. So this is one gear shown, spur gear. Now when two such gears are fitted, then they look like this. Gear 1, gear 2, gear 1, gear 2. Same gear is drawn, and here if you see closely, you will find that the diameter diameter number 2, that is D, pitch circle diameter of one gear and pitch circle diameter of other gear, these two are meeting at one point. So pitch circle diameters of the two gears, they are touching here. Whereas this is the addendum circle of one gear, this is the addendum circle of the other gear, they are intersecting. Now this is the dedendum circle. Here the dedendum circle is not shown, it is there but it is not shown. So this is how the two gears are shown in front view, and this is how the same gears are shown in the sectional view when they are assembled. So you can see here there are teeth. One tooth is shown as a convention. Then on the other side, the tooth of the other gear is shown as a convention. The center line drawn here, and then here there is a engagement of teeth of this gear and this gear. So here there is a meshing of two teeth. So only one tooth is shown here. Actually there are two teeth, one inside another. So this is how the side view is shown. Now this is shown here DA1, that means addendum diameter of gear number 1. DA2, addendum diameter of gear number 2, maximum diameter. Then DD2, DD1, that means dedendum of 2, dedendum of 1. And this is from center, from here to here, it is a pitch circle diameter, that is the D diameter. So you can see here D1 plus D2 is written. So D1 means PCD of one gear up to here, and then PCD of the second gear up to here. So that's why they have written D1 plus D2 from this center line to this center line. So D1 plus D2. So that is how they have shown. So one is D1, other is D2. D1 plus D2. So they are shown the spur gearing. Spur gearing is two spur gears when they are engaged. Now in the case of this spur gear, the two axes are parallel. This is one axis, this is another axis. Both the axes are parallel here. Now if you see the other gear, this is called as a bevel gear and this is called as a bevel gearing. Bevel gearing. So two bevel gears, they are engaged like this. They are called as bevel gearing. What is the speciality of the bevel gears? Bevel gears are transferring the power from one shaft to another shaft. But these two shafts, you can see one shaft like this, other shaft like this. These two shafts are at 90 degrees. Earlier the two shafts were parallel here. Now the two shafts are at 90 degrees. So how one gear is drawn, it is shown here. We don't draw gear and we don't show the teeth. We only show the convention. So the addendum circle, pitch circle and dedendum circle is shown. In the case of spur gear, it is forming a cone. So this is the outline of a spur gear, like this. Now this is only a construction line. It should be light, but they have drawn it dark, so it is slightly confusing. There is nothing here. The gear ends here, but the teeth here, you can see the teeth are shown. These teeth are taper. The tooth is broad here and narrow here. So if the line is drawn like this, then that line will meet here. Same thing here. So this is forming a cone. So the shape of the gear is like a cone, and this is forming apex. So pitch, cone, radius is this radius. So this is tooth from this point to this point. That is the pitch circle diameter. Then you can see here addendum circle and dedendum circle, just like last time. Addendum value is here, this is the dedendum value. So one bevel gear is shown like this, and when two such bevel gears, they are engaging in each other. When they are engaging in each other, their apex is matching. One tooth, another tooth, and both the teeth are matching. Double lines because there is a clearance. This is a hub. So D1 means pitch circle diameter of 1, D2 means pitch circle diameter of 2 measured from here to here. So, and the same gear, if you see in the side view, then this gear looks like this, and this gear looks like this, and this cone is exactly at the center. So this is bevel gearing. Now here you will see worm and worm gear. What is worm and worm gear? In the case of worm and worm gear, the gear looks like this, but the side view shows it is a curvature. Unlike in this case, you can see spur gear, there was no curvature, it is a straight line. But here, for the worm and worm gear, there is a curvature. What is worm and worm gear? This one is a gear, we call a worm gear. The other part is not like a gear, it is called as a worm. This worm means this worm. It looks like a screw. So it has got a threading, and the threading is engaged with the teeth. So the thread of the worm engages with the teeth of the worm gear. And there is a curvature. If you see the side view, this curvature is matching with the circular view of this. So the axis of this is here, and the axis of this is here. So these two axes, they are neither parallel nor perpendicular. You can see one axis like this, other axis is here perpendicular to the screen. So they are skew axis, they are called as. And then it has also got pitch circle diameter, etc. Now what is important is how the ratio is found out. How the ratio is found out for the normal gear. See, in this case, suppose you want to find out the speed ratio. So I'll give you, this has got diameter D, this has got diameter 2D, and this has got speed 100 rpm. Then you will immediately say that the speed here is 50 rpm because the diameter is double, so the speed is half. That is called a ratio. Now similar ratio in the case of a worm and worm gear, how do you find out? Now there is some diameter here, there could be some teeth here, but there are no teeth on the worm. So on the worm there is a threading. So the ratio here is found out by number of teeth on the worm wheel divided by number of threads on the worm. So that I'll just show you here. I have written ratio of a worm and worm gear, how do you find out? So this is equal to teeth on teeth on the worm wheel, teeth on this worm wheel, and for the worm it is called as number of threads. Now what is number of threads? I'll just show you one figure here. Suppose I take one rod and I take one rope and I am winding this rope like this. A rope is wound. A rope is wound like this on the rod. So this is something like a threading. So at the moment the number of threads is 1. But suppose I take one more rope and that rope I wind like this. So now there are 2 different ropes. That means here the threads are 2. There are 2 threads here now. So because of that, here number of threads will be 2. So suppose I tell you that this worm has got 50 teeth. So this will be 50. And the number of threads on the worm are 2. So worm wheel has got 50 teeth. Worm has got 2 threads. So the ratio will be 50 upon 2. That means 25. That means here, if this has got 50 teeth and if this has got 2 threads, then the ratio will be 25. Now this is a very high ratio which you will not be able to get from anywhere else. That means suppose you try to get a ratio of 25 in the case of a spur gear, then what you will have to do, if this diameter is D, then this diameter will have to be 25 times D. So it will be very big. Suppose this is 1 inch, then this will be 25 inches. So 25 inches is like 2 feet. So 1 inch diameter gear is rotating a gear of 2 feet. That is not possible. So getting a 25 ratio by spur gear is not possible. But with the help of worm and worm gear like this, for worm and worm gear, it is easy to get a ratio of this order because the ratio is calculated like this. Number of threads of worm, which is 2. It can be 1 also. And number of teeth on the wheel, it can be 50 to give you a ratio of 25. So that is the advantage of worm and worm gear. You can get very, very high ratio. So this is worm and worm gear shown separate. This is worm. The worm gear shown individual, and here assembly is shown in the sectional view, and this is the assembly shown in the front view. So in this entire page you can see we have seen here single spur gear assembly, that is called as spur gearing. Then we have seen bevel gear, and then we saw bevel gear assembly. Then we saw here worm, here there is worm wheel, and then we have seen assembly of worm and worm gear. So worm gear and worm, they are assembled like this. So 3 types of gears we have seen. So that is why the name is gears and gearing. We have seen 3 types of gears and gearings. So this is going to be your practice sheet number 7, which you have to draw as a freehand.